Kevin always smirks at me, mocking me, but now he's slamming his desk, glaring at me like a demon despite his calm tone. Choose resigning or getting fired. But there's no reason for me to leave the company. He completely forgot about a client's request, which led to a major incident that cost the company dearly. It was Kevin's mistake that caused it. Yet Kevin, shifting all the blame to Sophia, stares at her as if he's done nothing wrong. Few doubt Kevin's words given his track record, but I know how hard Sophia has worked all this time. The thought of Sophia being forced to leave because of Kevin's words was unbearable to me. Being a nobody, it wouldn't make a difference whether I stayed or left. It's clear that Sophia, who's dedicated to her work, should stay over someone like me. Knowing Sophia shouldn't have to bear the blame for a mistake she didn't make, I chose to resign in her place. At that moment, I thought I had lost everything. But it turned out Kevin was the one who truly lost everything. Kevin had it coming. My name is Jake. I work at a decently renowned advertising agency in the county, not big but known locally. We don't have the power of the big names but take pride in our local engagement, managing events around the area. As a sales department grunt, I'm what you'd call a sidelined employee. I ended up in this position due to a massive mistake during a major event the company sponsored. The initial project proposal from the client was flawed, which wasn't really my fault. I noticed the mistake but was rebuffed by the project manager, who didn't appreciate my input, and even my attempts to discuss it were ignored. It was also found that the manager had made a wrong order. In the end, I was the one who was framed and had to take all the blame. I lost my position as project manager and was demoted to a corner of the sales department, living as an inconspicuous employee. My demotion coincided with a change in company leadership. With the new CEO came a significant shift in company direction. They plan to expand the business further, including taking on projects outside the county. The company is focusing on recruiting talented individuals from outside. It seemed irrelevant to someone sidelined like me, but it wasn't. Kevin, the new head of the sales department, was one of those external hires. He is younger than me but with a proven track record. From day one, Kevin captured the staff's hearts with his passion, but something about his words felt off to me. I'm Kevin, ready to work with you all. You're here to secure deals, but I'm here to take responsibility. I'm looking forward to our hard work. While Kevin was generally supportive, he was inexplicably cold to me, occasionally giving me harsh looks. The only one who stood up for me was my boss, Sophia. Sophia, popular across departments for her beauty, was a powerful force in sales and leading with her actions. To me, Sophia was unattainably noble. While I was busy with paperwork, I heard a familiar voice from the hallway. Peeking out, I saw Sophia and Kevin, but something was unofficial. Kevin seemed to be hitting on Sophia. But no matter how you look at it, Sophia clearly seems to dislike Kevin's advances. Kevin, fairly handsome, was popular among female staff. He might be used to attention, but his approach was too overbearing. Given it was her superior, Sophia couldn't retaliate with her usual vigor. Seeing Sophia in distress, Kevin attempted to force himself on her. Unable to watch, I intervened, and as expected, Kevin glared at me. "Excuse me, Sophia, where should these documents go again?" "What's it to you? Get lost." Kevin snapped, his anger echoing down the hall. Knowing Kevin didn't think highly of me, I ignored him and spoke directly to Sophia. "By the way, Sophia, there are some documents on my desk that need your attention tomorrow. Could you take a look?" Troubled by Kevin's advances, Sophia quickly left the scene upon hearing my words, as if escaping. To Sophia's back, Kevin uttered something outrageous. "If you won't be mine, not only will you not advance in this company, but you won't be able to stay here at all." Kevin, frustrated at being interrupted, glared at me again. Being nothing more than a sidelined bottom-ring employee, I had nothing to lose by drawing Kevin's ire any further. As I walked away, remembering something, Kevin kicked the wall and hurled insults at me. I hurried away, ignoring Kevin's words. Back at my desk, sorting through my documents, I suddenly found myself bombarded with menial tasks from other employees. When I was the head of the planning department, it was the opposite. I was the one delegating tasks. For a sidelined employee like me, this is just part of the job. Kevin, still irate, returned to his desk, causing the other employees to avert their eyes, sensing the mood. Kevin appeared to be staring at his computer sulkily, but it was clear he wasn't doing any real work. Usually, Kevin would spend his time at the desk fiddling with his phone or merely skimming documents, even as others worked hard. Lately, correcting the mistakes in documents and materials checked by Kevin has also become part of my job. Suddenly, I was called into a meeting room. Worried that I had made a mistake, I was surprised to find Sophia had summoned me. Then, Sophia told me she wanted me to handle the new project. Grateful, yet doubtful of my capability as a sidelined employee, I asked if she was sure. "Jake, I'm well aware of your work. Your attention to detail and reliability surpasses others," she assured. I felt exhilarated about being entrusted with significant work again, but also anxious about having Kevin review the materials. Days later, I nervously showed Kevin the completed materials, but he only smirked and seemed unusually pleased. On the day of the presentation, I arrived at the client's company alone, fully prepared. Right before the start, Kevin unexpectedly showed up, even though he had no involvement in this project. With a sales smile, Kevin pushed me aside and confidently began a presentation. The materials he presented were modified versions of my work. However, the additions and revisions made by Kevin were off-topic and filled with budgeting errors, completely misaligned with the project. Despite the barrage of questions from the client, Kevin, without panicking, presented the original materials I had prepared as an alternative. Kevin even apologized, claiming the flawed materials were prepared by me. Apologies for the earlier materials, prepared by Jake. It was disrespectful. Fearing the task was too much for Jake, who usually handles minor tasks, I reviewed and made adjustments to the presentation materials, he said. Kevin, pinning the blame on me, received praise from the client, while I, being sidelined, was looked down upon. Ultimately, the credit for the project was stolen by Kevin. Following Kevin's portrayal of my incompetence, coupled with a past failure, my standing in the company worsened. Sophia, questioning how the project credited to Kevin was initially mine, approached me. However, resigned to my sidelined status, I didn't explain and returned to my daily tasks. Days later, Sophia came to tell me about another significant project she had secured. But Kevin, overhearing, snatched the order form and proposal from Sophia. Having received high praise for stealing my work, Kevin now planned to take Sophia's project as well. Eventually, Kevin went to negotiate with the client on Sophia's behalf. Right before finalizing the contract, Kevin, forgetting an important budget amendment, infuriated the client with excuses. This led to a major incident, causing significant losses for the company due to the already placed orders. It's because of you that the contract with the client was nullified, causing huge losses for the company. How do you plan to take responsibility? Shockingly, in front of other employees, Kevin shifted all the blame onto Sophia. Unaware of Kevin's manipulations, the employees, cowed by his assertiveness, looked coldly at Sophia. Only I, having experienced Kevin's deceit firsthand, knew of Sophia's genuine dedication. After Kevin whispered something to Sophia, she looked at him with disdain, as if he were trash. "What's with that attitude? This is why you're useless." Kevin, slamming his desk with a demonic glare contrary to his calm tone, stared at Sophia. "What's it going to be? Choose resigning or getting fired." Unable to tolerate Kevin's tyranny any longer, Sophia was about to strike him when I stopped her hand and stepped between them. Sophia is a necessary asset to this company. If you're calling someone incompetent, I'll resign in her place. Huh? Why would you? Well, fine. So you're leaving the company. Sophia looked at me with a troubled expression. The words Kevin sneered at me made my blood boil. Jake, I've had a grudge against you since our last company. Finally, I can get my revenge. Hearing Kevin, I remembered he was the person in charge of causing my demotion. Driven by impulse, I scribbled my resignation and handed it to Kevin, and right after, Sophia brought her resignation as well. Sophia's resignation, though slightly wrinkled, was neatly sealed, clearly not prepared on the spot. Having seen Kevin making advances on Sophia before, it seemed she might have been blackmailed by Kevin. Sophia had been contemplating leaving the company. I've made up my mind. If Jake is leaving, then I will leave too. Sophia placed her resignation on Kevin's desk with a smile before I could stop her. I truly believed Sophia was essential to the company, but staying might only lead to more harassment from Kevin. Realizing this, I decided it wasn't my place to interfere with her decision. Kevin, receiving our resignations, clicked his tongue in annoyance. Good riddance. Work will be easier without senior faces. Useless ones. Just leave. Kevin kept his bravado, but the sudden resignation seemed to unsettle him. Ignoring Kevin's final insults, we packed our things. Our resignations were accepted without question, and we truly left the company. Kevin might have been spreading rumors about us, but it no longer mattered to me. Days later, as I searched for a new job, I received a call from an unknown number. Surprisingly, it was from Sophia. Jake, how are you? When I asked how she got my number, it turned out Sophia was my ex-girlfriend from years ago. I hadn't changed my number in over 20 years, but I lost all contacts during a phone switch. Sophia's voice, slightly embarrassed, was indeed familiar. I hadn't realized that Sophia, who had changed her surname due to her parents' divorce and had grown into a beautiful woman, was my ex until now. Reminiscing about our youth, Sophia suggested, "Hey, Jake, what about starting a new company together? I believe we can do great work together." Though taken aback by the idea of starting a business, I was determined to prove Kevin wrong. In our new company, I took the role of the representative. Sophia handled sales, and I managed planning and presentations. Thanks to Sophia's efforts in sales, our startup became busier than expected. Busy as during my manager days, I found joy and fulfillment in our work. Our experience with menial tasks proved valuable, making detailed work bearable. Our company, though small, began to tackle local jobs successfully. One day, we received a significant project, a large event competition from a company Sophia had connections with. We prepared meticulously for the day, meeting with the client multiple times. At the competition venue, alongside our company, were several others, each represented by their top employees. Amidst the large corporations, I locked eyes with none other than Kevin. Working in the same industry, one tends to hear rumors, and it seems Kevin's actions had recently tarnished his company's reputation. This event was likely his chance for redemption. Kevin, spotting us, smirked in his usual condescending manner. Once all participating companies were gathered, the presentations began. Every company delivered impressive presentations, filling me with ideas like never before. As Kevin's turn approached, his presentation began. As expected, not only the clients but also employees from other companies seemed puzzled by Kevin's explanation. Initially confident, Kevin noticed the odd atmosphere post-presentation and hastily started additional explanations to the clients. "Our proposal is packed with your desires." Clients responded to Kevin's explanation with forced smiles and sighs, avoiding eye contact. I was dumbfounded by Kevin's pitiful display. A dejected Kevin glared at us as he returned to his seat. Our presentation was last, concluding the competition smoothly. When our company was announced as the winner, Kevin slammed the desk and protested loudly. How can a plan by a useless sidelined employee like him win over mine? This is absurd. Despite Kevin's insults, his proposal was clearly flawed, obvious to anyone. After receiving cold stares from the clients, Kevin kicked the desk and stormed out of the meeting room. As we were about to leave after finalizing the contract with the client, Kevin was waiting at the exit, glaring at us. And then, with his face red with irritation, Kevin started berating us fiercely. You've made a fool of me. How will you take responsibility? A no-name company like yours should be crushed by mine. But Kevin didn't tone that company. I sighed at Kevin's one-sided rant and explained the competition's real purpose. Kevin, this project was pretty much decided for our company from the start, but due to its scale, a competition was necessary for appearances. That's impossible. There's no way your small company could beat mine in scale. Didn't you realize other companies knew this and brought proposals for future consideration? After hearing my explanation, Kevin still seemed not to understand, glaring at me with a puzzled expression. It appears that Kevin, not grasping the situation, had been under the impression that this would be his moment of glory. His belief in winning with such a proposal was delusional. Kevin, unable to contain his anger, continued hurling insults at us. Your success is thanks to me. You're deluded if you think you can handle big projects. As we wondered how to respond, a woman appeared. The woman approaching Kevin with a smile. It caused him to turn pale and flee the scene. She briefly greeted us before following Kevin. We never saw Kevin again. I heard rumors that Kevin had quit his previous job to escape a stalker. It seems Kevin was being stalked by that woman. The woman, acting like Kevin's shadow, would follow him with every job change or move, becoming quite the nuisance. However, Kevin himself was to blame for the situation. She had been wooed by Kevin at a former workplace, leading to a romantic relationship. Their breakup turned complicated, resulting in her becoming Kevin's stalker. Kevin, always boasting about his achievements, actually took credit for others' work, proving to be an incompetent employee. His dismissal was due to continuous poor performance despite being a manager, but with most of his career issues stemming from problematic relationships with women. Reports from co-workers suspicious of Kevin's lack of work led to the uncovering of his true nature. In the end, Kevin's downfall could be described as self-inflicted. Our company continued to grow, increasing both workload and performance. As the company expanded, my relationship with Sophia also deepened. Sophia, once hesitant about marriage due to a previous divorce, agreed to marry me after our shared experiences starting the company. With the increase in work, we needed to hire more staff. Then leading to the surprising application from Kevin's stalker. Michelle, Kevin's stalker, had an impressive resume with achievements that exceeded expectations. Despite the condition of hiring Kevin too, Michelle's capabilities made us reluctantly agree. Kevin, tarnished by bad industry rumors, was struggling to find employment. Moved by Michelle's persistent support, he conceded and they got married. Michelle's work performance was surprisingly excellent, making it a mystery why she was so infatuated with Kevin. Kevin, who used to manipulate people and steal co-workers' efforts, is now relegated to menial tasks as a sidelined employee. His married life seems to be under Michelle's firm control. With the addition of such a unique employee, our company continued to grow and become busier. Partly thanks to Kevin. This turn of events, unimaginable during my days as a sidelined employee, is all thanks to Sophia's encouragement to start the business. I am determined to cherish both the company and Sophia moving forward.